Scott, do you have an update on JoJo Doman and kind of his status with the 110 and going forward?
Yeah, JoJo is back with us, did some things today. We didn't have him in the 110 originally because he wasn't ready to go yet. And he had a good feeling about being home for a couple more days just to continue the rehab work he'd been doing when he was home. So as long as he wasn't in the 110, I couldn't make him be here. And we kind of picked a date when we both felt like he was going to be ready, and he came back when he was supposed to, and now he's back part of the team. So everything looks good from that standpoint, and I don't expect to be long with him.
How do you feel about how that position's been looking a week into camp with the other guys?
I've been pleased with our linebackers. Outside backers, I think Alex Davis has made vast improvement. Caleb Tanner looks faster, looks better. Anxious to get JoJo in that mix. Ferg's been doing really good things, and Garrett Nelson's been making plays, particularly yesterday. He really had a good day. And then there's some other guys and young guys that I think have a chance. So overall, I think that group has improved, and we need to keep pushing.
What has Alex Davis done? He's been praised quite a bit in the offseason. Like, what is it? What's the picture look like?
You know, Alex has always had the skill and the gifts to do it. I think for him it was just getting comfortable with the position. He's not a guy that's played football his whole life. I think he was a basketball player growing up. And I think he'd be the first to tell you last year there was times he was in the right place or doing the right thing, but at the moment of truth he didn't go make the play. And some of that I think he was thinking a little too much. This year he seems to be cutting it loose. Looks a lot better in pass rush. So I'm anxious to see what he can do on the field. If he plays the way he's practicing, he's going to have a good year.
Scott, obviously your access is a little bit limited to summer workouts, being a coach, but after everything you've heard from summer workouts and your expectations coming into fall camp, have they exceeded your expectations? How have they done relative to those?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd tell you it was great, even if it was great, but I expected it to be better, and it's better. And I said that before, it's a lot better. You know, I don't know what that means, and we definitely can't stop improving right now. But every position looks better than it did a year ago. The speed of practice looks better than it did a year ago. I'm having a lot of fun coaching this team. Last year there was times it was hard coaching the team last year. This year everybody shows up with a smile on their face. I don't see one person that I don't want to talk to. They're having fun. This is a fun team to coach. So there's just a ton of things that have gotten better, and it's up to us as coaches and the players to make sure that improvement leads to success.
How has your desire for more physicality and toughness, especially in practices, how have you seen that play out in the first 6 or 7 practices?
You know, it's funny. We've had to have talks 2 nights in a row about slowing them down because we've been a little too reckless. And it's not everybody, but you know that can lead to injuries on the field. You got to be able to practice like a pro and take care of each other. But I would much rather have a team where I have to say slow down a little bit than one that we're trying to get to go faster. And you know, particularly the guys that are going to be playing, the older guys, we're trying to pull the reins back on them a little bit. So I think the toughness and enthusiasm and effort of practice improved drastically as well.
How about, have you liked the physicality and attitude of those defensive backs? They seem to have a lot of, a lot of swagger to them.
Fish has done a great job with the DB. I think we did a great job recruiting at DB. The guys that are here have gone to work. They know what they're doing. That position group has made such a 180. It's hard to describe it. I know there's been a lot said about that, but Lamar Jackson looks like a different guy. DCAP is as solid and consistent a guy as you can find. Deontay is playing great football right now. Mark Eldersburg's playing great football right now. And we got a bunch of guys. Cam Taylor's playing great. We got a bunch of guys behind him that I think are ready and are going to be really good down the road. So there's good things happening back there. Of course, as a former DB, you always look better as a DB when people up front are really good. And you don't have to cover very much. So all that's got to come together for that to work. But that position group and Coach Fish and Coach Cooper working with them deserve a lot of credit for the change that they made.
Scott, obviously some of the traditional ways that you measure defensive success have changed, yards, points. When these guys get playing, how do you measure improvement and success for the defense?
You know, at the end of the day, wins. We won one game last year, 9-6, and we had to win some others, 50-something to 30-something, and I don't really care. We talked to our defense about getting us the ball back, and if a team drives it and we get a turnover and we get the ball back, that can sometimes be just as good as a 3 and out. I think some of the statistics are still the same. You want to hold the team to fewer yards and fewer points, but they're going to play more plays. So we kind of lean a little more toward yards per play, yards per possession, and those types of things. The biggest stat for us is going to be turnovers. And the other one I want to see improve a little is 3 and outs make a big difference so that we can get the ball in better field position offensively.
How has the offense responded to some of those turnovers?
I think the offense has been doing a pretty good job. We had one day where we had a little rash of fumbles. Honestly, a few of them were after the whistle, and guys just keep trying to get balls out, which is what we want the defense working on. We haven't been careless with the ball, but there was one day where there was too many, and that was the only thing that ever made Coach Osborne mad enough to say "dadgummit" was if we turned it over in practice. I might need to adopt that, but it's been pretty good on offense. I think some of the turnovers we had have just been really good plays by the defense, and that's great to see.
Mario talked how there's like an exciting quarterback battle for the number 2 job. Kind of just speak on Luke and Noah and kind of seeing those guys compete.
Yeah, I think all the quarterbacks are doing a good job. We're vastly improved at that position from the number 1 guy all the way down the roster. It was a little depressing last year going into certain games with 1, maybe 2 healthy quarterbacks. Noah's been doing really good things. He's throwing the ball as well as I've seen him throw it. Obviously, he's athletic and as familiar with our scheme as anybody. Luke's doing some really good things, throwing the ball really well, but also making a bunch of plays with his legs. And he's picked up the offense really fast. Bunchy has improved drastically. Matt Masker's making some good plays. So we're in a lot better place at that position. I wish the season would come down to a 4x1 relay with our quarterback group against everybody else. We got some guys that can run.
Has the running back picture early on looked kind of what you hoped it would with those new guys coming in?
I think the running backs have impressed me too. You never know what you're going to get with new guys. Dedrick Mills in particular has come in and just conducted himself like a pro. He's gone to work. He knows the offense better than I expected. Practices his butt off every day. Maurice is a step faster than he was last year, so he's doing some really good things. White Missouri is solid, and a bunch of the other guys are making plays. So I'm pleased with that group, and I think Ronald Tompkins is another guy that I think is really close to being back out there and getting some reps after his injury in high school. So we're moving in a good direction at running back.
Are there any new receivers that have jumped earlier? Or in general, how do you feel about how some of those guys have adapted to the scheme and what you're asking of them?
Yeah, the receivers, another place I feel like we're night and day better than last year. JD is being JD. Andre Hunt is playing a lot better this year. Mike Williams is playing better. Woody's playing better. Wandale is starting to do some things that we expected him to be able to do when we got him. Darian Chase is showing up. A couple of the walk-ons are showing up. Peanut is doing some good things. Miles Jones is doing some good things. We just have way more guys that we can trust to where they're supposed to be, trust to get open. A lot more weapons for the quarterbacks. 7-on-7 looks different because we're stretching the field. Guys are running full speed, and we're getting to spots we couldn't get to last year. And that's not even to mention Conabai, who has been a huge addition to us with just his experience and understanding and consistency. So Coach Walter's done a good job with that group, and it's way better.
Hey Scott, how much more versatility do you have in this backfield? When you look at receivers that can play running backs can play receivers, and how big can that be for you as you start to scheme and get ready for this upcoming season?
Some of the versatility of those guys is going to help us. It's going to help us scheme. It's also going to help us, defend against any potential nicks that happen to guys. If we get short in the backfield, there's a couple receivers like Miles and Wandale. They can take carries. Those guys have looked really good in the backfield too. Kind of the inverse of that, if we get a couple receivers hurt, Mo Washington and some guys can go out and they know the routes. ends are also doing good enough. I feel like they're going to be a good, big enough threat in the pass game that we have to play more with 2 tight ends on the field. We're going to be fine. So just the depth at all those positions is going to help us from a scheme standpoint. Also going to help us to protect ourselves against any potential injuries.
All good.